Welcome, everyone. One of the things that I want to establish as a beautiful boundary, a beautiful balaklohe in the Spokane Sangha, is that you arrive when you do and you leave when you must, and you invite it to be perfect. So thanks for letting us know. No need to apologize. You just arrive, you come and go as your mind and your body feels at ease. For those of you online, if you want to get up and move and enjoy your practice that way, I just gently encourage you to turn your cameras off. Likewise, if you're online and you're eating, or if you're still trying to cultivate a relationship with any kind of habit energy, smoking or anything like that, turn your cameras off, and that way we don't have any of the visual distraction that could unnecessarily stir up feelings in our community. And if some feelings are stirred up, we always get to just look at that, right? We get to be grown-ups and we get to look at our own feelings. On Wednesdays, we've been exploring the work of Shantideva, an 8th century Buddhist monk, and he wrote this incredible treatise for himself, a map really on how to live a beautiful, virtuous Buddhist life. It's known as the way of the Bodhisattva. And a bodhisattva is simply a person who is determined to alleviate suffering in the world. They have devoted their entire lives to that purpose, to that end. The book that we've been studying is this one, The Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. And as I've been thinking today, I'm not in the mood. I mean, we're right on the end of finishing chapter 2, and I'm not in the mood to read it. I know, Mary Lou, would you look at that? So I'm going with it, peeps. I don't feel like it. I don't have the spirit of it. There's all that 8th century language, and I'm like, nah. So we're going to do something else. We're going to take in the Bodhisattva spirit, and we're going to do a gentle exploration of the 4 foundations of mindfulness. And this is actually such a beautiful entry point to the month of May, that's our whole focus, the 4 foundations of mindfulness. I want to invite everyone to turn an inward gaze. Maybe close your eyes, maybe look down at the floor. Find something to stare at, find something beautiful in your visual field, and see if you can keep your visual field somewhat limited. That's why we close our eyes, so we're not visually distracted. But closing your eyes isn't always comfortable for a lot of people, so don't feel pressured to do that if in your own mind and body you know that doesn't bring you ease. So take full ownership and agency of what works well for you and do that. I'd also encourage you to lie down for your practice today, if that brings your body lots of ease. If you fall asleep, just know that that is what your body needed, and you honor this space by trusting this community to create the conditions for enough comfort that you can really rest. On the journey of recovery, we almost never get enough rest. The brain needs a lot of time to heal. And it needs a lot of spacious, undistracted, gentle time to relax. Take a moment to allow some silence to descend. And in the Soul Center Sanctuary, we're going to create a really deep silence. So you may notice that your ears are ringing a little bit. You may hear your own breath or the breathing cycles of others. You may even come into the awareness of your own heartbeat. might be a little unsettling. The only thing you need to do is take a deep breath, inhaling and exhaling. As we settle into the body, notice the body. Head to toe, allow your imagination and your connection to your body to just wander front and back, pausing in any place along the body that has interesting terrain, your wrists and elbows, your collarbones and shoulder blades, the musculature of your legs enabling mobility and strength, the lungs that are protected by the rib cage, friends. In the spaciousness of settling the body, notice if you can get a handle on your mood. And the mood and emotionality isn't an invitation to start labeling or judging ourselves. This is simply, I'm feeling agitated, I'm feeling fatigued, I'm feeling joyful, heartbroken. And it's a way of identifying, using language to identifying some emotions and some moods, but see if you can create some space, some distance between the feeling that you're experiencing and the thoughts and stories associated with it. Simply observe, I'm annoyed, I'm agitated. And if you don't even want to personify that, you can say, I'm working with frustration. Anger has come to visit. And these are ways of separating ourselves from the actual emotions that we may be experiencing, some weather coming in. See if you can identify your mood. And if it feels murky, that's okay. Breathe. Let the breath and the body be the place that you return to again and again. And if that isn't a comfortable place for you, not everybody likes to use the breath as an anchor. Find out what works for you. There have been times in my own practice where I will bring my fingertips together and just gently tap them. That's my anchor. I keep my elbows tucked in my sides and I'm just gently tapping my fingertips. And when my mind is wandering, I just pay attention to my tapping fingers. Friends, the third and fourth foundation of mindfulness has to do with our thoughts and our stories, the mental formations that are inspired by our thoughts. So, for instance, some of you may be having a thought about meditation. Meditation's hard, my mind is wandering, and then the story that's associated with it sounds like I should be better at this. Why am I not farther along? I wish my life was different or better. Maybe your thoughts and stories are wandering to an appointment you have later today. The mind is wondering and imagining what that's going to be like. We practice meditation and we come into this mindful awareness not to scold ourselves for the presence of thought or story or formations and perceptions. We practice to simply cultivate awareness. Oh, that's happening. I'm having these thoughts and stories. Would you look at that? Okay. And then we breathe. I breathe. And I remind myself that the meeting that I have later today is later today. Right now, I'm sitting on a cushion. I have a handkerchief in my hands. My hands are folded. I'm in a community of extraordinary human beings. There's chocolate here. I want all of it gone by the end of the day, please. I also have on my table a beautiful dana offering from Luma. I'll pass it around and I'll also show it. And it's a carving of an elephant. And the belly of the elephant is hollowed out and there's a wee baby elephant in the middle. And Luma's interpretation of this beautiful carving is that while it appears to be a mother elephant and a baby, to him this represents the Sangha, the community, all of us, and the baby within is each of us. We're all held by this mothering, beautiful community, this mothering and fathering community. I'm thinking about that. That's in my present awareness. And then I breathe. For the next few moments of silence, I would like to encourage a friendly disposition. So even if you have something that's arising, an ache in the body, a prickly sensation in your mood, a thought that feels judgmental and harsh, a story that you're harboring that's negative about someone you perceive as a threat or an annoyance. All of that could be true. And the truth is, you can still anchor in a friendly disposition toward all of that arising. And by friendly, I don't mean blissfully happy. I don't mean silly. I don't mean ignoring the reality of your situation. By friendly, I mean curious, open, spacious. Hey, discomfort in the body, I see you. You can be here. Hey, prickly mood that I'd really rather not hear, you're here. I see you. Hey, thoughts of whatever that aren't necessarily in my best interest, I see you. You can be here. Hey, stories of judgment, regret, harshness, I hear you. You can be here. We're just going to breathe. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment. This is a beautiful moment. That's a breathing mantra by Thich Nhat Hanh. Let me say it again. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in this present moment. This is a beautiful moment. So for a few minutes together, let's breathe in and out, anchored in these four foundations, settling in to the friendly, beautiful moment. let's end our practice today with a dedication of merit. And we do this to recognize a couple of things. One is to acknowledge that when we gather sheltered under the three jewels in Buddhism, the Buddha, the person who was able to awaken to the conditions of his own suffering and the suffering of the world, the Dharma, his teachings that have been handed down for a couple of thousands of years, and then the Dharma, the community of people who are listening to that teaching, that are marrying his wisdom with our own wisdom so that we can awaken and heal the causes of our own suffering, and by extension, put it out into the world as expressions of peace. This is no small thing. It's an extraordinary thing to do. And so we take a moment to acknowledge that effort and recognize that there is so much goodness by coming to this meeting. We take it in, we hold it in a soft, tender place in the heart and mind, and then we allow it to permeate through the body, radiate out into the world, and may it land upon everyone you meet. The people in your home, in your community, in the grocery store, people that you talk to on the telephone, people that you connect with online. May this moment of peaceful gentility be a place of warm compassion and love to put into this world so desperate to have it. Thank you for your beautiful practice.